You are mother's little mistake. You weren't meant to be in this world. Things were really grand without you. And then there came some unexpected news. When you were, she cried. Maybe she had second thoughts, but it was too late. And then you came around. You are mother's greatest mistake. One that she is proud to have made. But nonetheless, you're still a mistake. And nothing can ever take that away. When you look into her eyes, does it make her sad? Does she think about the day she wished you away? But you still came to be. You are mother's little mistake. You are mother's little mistake. Adoption kid, get over it. It doesn't matter, it's in the past, you can't change it. Mother loved you so much that she gave you up. Maybe you're lucky, maybe you're much better off.
Quick announcements before we get started. This is Stand-Up Comedy on Zoom. One of my executive orders is to make it that you can only view stand-up comedy on Zoom. So that's why you should vote for me in the next 4 years. A couple of suggestions on making this the best Zoom comedy show experience possible. First of all, we want to hear your amazing laughter. If you are somewhere with not too much background noise, if you currently don't live inside of a beehive, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a constantly noisy area, go ahead and unmute your microphones. Let us hear your awesome laughter. But if you do live inside of a beehive, which is both delicious and scary, you're living on the edge, but it's worth it. I think you're a bear. Go ahead and at least turn your cameras on. Let us see your beautiful smiling faces. If you do get muted during the show, it just means we're maybe getting some background noise, maybe some static, maybe your iPad is sitting on your stomach and you're hungry, and we're hearing the growling. So don't be offended if you hear if you do get muted. Next announcement, shout out to everybody watching us on Comedy Hub on Twitch. Give them a round of applause. Yeah, we love having them here. We really appreciate it. Next thing, ooh, they got an ooh baby. That was fun. If you can, we suggest watching this show in speaker view. Make it so that the comics are the biggest thing on your screen. Go ahead and hit that button up in that corner. Or if I'm currently mirrored in your screen, in that corner, is this my left hand or my right hand? I don't know which it is.
Nobody
which
knows.
No one knows if they're mirrored or not. Whatever it was, I did the opposite of the way it's supposed to be because it just looked weird to me. I think I'm mirrored. Yeah, because that's the other hand on that side. But I've also got the Comedy Hub Twitch window on the other side. So I'm actually high-fiving myself on my own screen. That's how it looks because I'm in gallery view. Anyway, next announcement. If you want to show the comics some love, if you want to make it so that we can keep doing these shows week after week, month after month, year after year, decade after decade, millennia after millennia, you can send us some tips. You can use the email livingroomcomedy@gmail.com. You could find us on Venmo, PayPal, and Zelle, and you can find us on Cash App. That's right. We are $ Aaron Kominos-Smith, all one word, by name, without the hyphen, the way God intended. Go ahead and use $ Aaron Kominos-Smith. No spaces, no hyphens, and that is me on Cash App. You haven't seen the show yet, but trust me, it's going to be amazing. So send us tips right now before you change your mind. All right, that's the suggestion. Ron and Laura, they're always sending us tips. Everybody, we're going to get the show rocking and rolling right now with your MC. She is absolutely hilarious. She is the co-producer of the show, the same virtual background that I have. She is in Queens. I'm in Brooklyn, but it's like we're in the same room. Let's hear right now for the amazing and talented Carrie Gravenson, everybody.
Happy to be here. Happy Friday, everyone. We're getting rain here in New York. A couple weeks ago, we had like fires in New York because they were like, it didn't rain, and now it's raining, and I don't like it either. I don't want fires or rain. Am I the problem? I'm the problem, right? I just want sunny and warm and also autumnally pretty. That's the important part. Yeah. So how's everybody doing? Do we have anyone joining us for the very first time? Do we have noobs? We have a noob. Hello, Amanda. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Where are you noobing from?
I live in Montana, but at this moment, I'm in Panama City.
Whoa, that's
wow.
Cool.
Whoa.
What are you doing in Panama City?
I'm just starting my vacation, but I'm like eating into it.
Nice.
Like, nothing and staying in.
I love it. Guys, give it up for Amanda in Panama. She's probably working on that canal. That's what I know. They got a canal. There's Erie Canal and Panama Canal. Name another canal. I dare you.
Yes.
And Fran is also new. Hi, Fran. How are you? Where are you noobing from? And you're on mute. You can gesture where you're calling in from.
Show us the shape of your state.
Yeah, show us the shape of your state. Like right. Is it a hand? Is it Michigan? Okay.
New Jersey.
It's not Jersey. Is it West
California.
Coast? It's East Coast.
France.
I love this. Are you also in Panama City? Because Panama City is super in right now. Everyone loves Panama City, right? Well, wherever you're calling from, we're calling. I love that it's like a talk show. But wherever you're zooming in from, we're happy to have you here. We're glad to see you. And I'm going to keep naming states until you go like that. There's only 50 of them. Or maybe you're in, Puerto Rico, where it's not quite a state, but it is a state, but it's not quite a state. It's not a state, it's a territory. Never let them forget it when you visit. Let me tell you, that's always funny. They love that. Well, we're so happy to see you. I was out last week, but I'm back this week. And next week is Thanksgiving. And is everyone going away for Thanksgiving or staying home or ignoring it entirely? Those are the three options.
Staying home.
Staying home. Yeah, I'm doing a 5K on Thanksgiving morning.
Oh.
And I was training for it originally, and then I stopped training for it. But now we're close enough that I get the weather report in Nashville, where I'm going, and it's supposed to rain. So I have a legitimate excuse to not run. Or if I run and my time is really bad, I can blame it on the rain, like Milli Vanilli taught me to. Who's old enough? Who remembers Milli Vanilli? Anyone? Okay, good. Couple of Xers. But next Monday, and speaking of canals, I am having my first ever root canal.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you. Applause is what I deserve. I agree. Thank you for clapping for that. It's my first ever root canal. And once I found out there's a piece of my jaw rotting, I just assumed it would crawl up and infect my brain and I would die. Right? That's the normal progression?
Don't worry, it won't hurt.
Yeah, it won't hurt. So I was like, it's not going to rot into my brain and kill me, to the dentist. And I don't think she thought I was serious.
Yeah.
She went, right. And I was like, no, you have to reassure me. Like, I will envision this. Like, you don't know who you're dealing with. And she was like, no, you're fine. Only the tooth is infected. Like, it's not in your soft tissues, which is something you want a lot of in your head, is soft tissue.
Okay.
And then last night, so that's on the docket for Monday. And last night, as I was flossing, a chunk of that tooth fell out and into my sink.
Oh no.
Yay.
No.
So I picked up the chunk, and I'm holding a chunk of my own tooth, and it looks terrible because it has a root canal coming. And I think to myself, do I need to save this for the dentist? If you floss out a piece of tooth, do you save it for the dentist? If that tooth is already about to be root canaled, what do we think? We've got 30 people here. No, don't save it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
Worry about it. I put it in a tiny Ziploc bag
Yay.
to keep it. I'm going to put it, yes, I know you're all thinking, am I going to put it under my pillow? Obviously,
sure.
I'm going to put it under my pillow.
Get a quarter.
For those, no, you know what the tooth fairy gives adults?
Chip.
Okay, so you get a quarter if you're a kid, but if you're an adult and you put a piece of your broken, nasty tooth under a pillow, you get crypto.
Just about a quarter.
You get a little bit of crypto. So I'm very excited for that. You just get an email. I got your message, Aaron, and does she know that?
Maybe. We'll find out.
We're speaking in code. We're having a whole conversation behind the scenes in the green room, if you will. Do I keep doing this? Am I doing this a lot? This is my, okay, that's to show that I'm
more.
Yeah, now I'm doing it more. I had a dinner party last night, and I needed to go grocery shopping, which was very fancy. And I went to H Mart. Do you guys know what H Mart is?
Yeah.
This is a
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So H Mart, if you're not familiar, is an enormous Korean grocery store. They have absolutely everything. Everything you could ever want in a grocery store, H Mart has.
Not really.
I would yes. Okay. I am going to smash up my tooth and snort it. These are the recommendations I'm getting from people. If you put your tooth in a tiny baggie, yes, security will take it, but I am going to smash it up and snort it. I thought that went without saying.
I'm being quiet.
So I go to H Mart is this enormous. It's like, picture a Walmart, but picture everything in there as groceries, and then make it Korean. And so I'm in there, and we're not used to giant grocery stores in New York City. We're used to tiny, like, bodegas where, a grocery store is sort of the line between bodega and grocery store in New York is sort of thin. So I'm in this H Mart, and it's huge, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, they have everything, the fish department, meat department, grocery, it's just great. And I need, for my recipe, I need some sweet potatoes, right? So I go and I find the produce, and there's a billion potatoes, and I don't see sweet potatoes. What I see is called Korean sweet potatoes. And they don't look like what I think of when I think of a sweet potato. So I'm standing in front of these Korean sweet potatoes, and I'm like, is that a regular potato? Is that, oh no, oh God. Oh God, am I racist for even wondering? It's like, I don't, because it doesn't look the same. And the grocer is standing right there, and and he's stocking the potatoes. And I turn to him and I go, is a Korean sweet potato the same as a non-Korean sweet potato? And he went, no inglés, because he was Mexican. And I was like, that's the most Queens thing that's ever happened. And that's the most vaguely racist. Like, you just have to be vaguely racist when you shop at H Mart and say, I want the white people sweet potatoes, please. I don't want. Anyway, I cooked them up. They're perfect. They tasted exactly correctly. And yeah, if you're in Queens, you'll encounter several different languages at once that you don't speak. Also, don't do what I did and go to H Mart for curry. because there is an aisle of it. Overwhelming, you guys. I went with my dumb white lady self, and I was like, yeah, I'll get curry at H Mart. No, you're in over your head. You can't do it. You can't do it. Whatever you think, you're wrong. You're wrong. You get an education real quick. It was great. I love that store. Definitely going back. And my dinner party went off without a hitch. It was great. Thank you. It was great. I got to light candles.
Ooh.
Never light candles. Yeah. And I got to make my entire apartment building smell like curry, which is great. That was the idea. Take that. Are you guys pumped and ready for an awesome show this evening?
Yes.
We are pumped. We are excited. We have an awesome show for you this evening. We're going to get things started. And I always say it because Aaron said, we're going to get things rocking and rolling. I took his line. He's still mad about it. You guys give a big warm welcome to our first comedian coming to the stage, Brisa Silvestri, everybody. Woo!
I'm not in my living room. I feel like it's a little bit of a lie, but my dog is currently like sitting on the couch downstairs, and
the whole screen.
Well, you can't see my whole screen?
We can see your whole screen.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
So anyways, I went to California recently, and I'm like a Boston, born and bred, like New Englander. And California is like a culture shock for me because I went there and everyone was just nice. And I got off a plane at Burbank, and like they actually like wheel a staircase up to the plane there, and you walk off and people are just like waving because they're happy. Like I didn't get that. It was like I felt like I was in like a banana boat commercial, and I'm like, I was like, I just feel like I need someone to yell at me right now, because if I was at Logan Airport walking around with my suitcase, I would just be getting yelled at for just walking around Logan with a suitcase. It felt unnatural to me. But when I was there too, I had like,
what happened?
Both times I went to California, there was an earthquake. And both times there was an earthquake, they were like, this never happens here. This never happens. Like, you literally live in like the Ring of Fire. Like, don't you guys know you have like a giant fault line under the whole state, right? They even made like the movie with The Rock about it called like San Andreas, where like the whole city gets destroyed because of the fault line. But they're like, this never happens. We never have earthquakes. And then when I was also there was a tropical storm, and they were like, this never happens. We never get tropical storms. So I'm like, what are they trying to hide here? Like, I would still come back if there was tropical storms or whatever. But when I was there, when the first earthquake hit, I was at a Quality Inn. And the room started shaking and stuff. And I was like sitting on the bed there. And I was like, well, it could be someone vacuuming upstairs. I mean, it is a Quality Inn. The floors are thin here. And my phone went off. My phone went off and buzzed, and it was like, you moron. This is an earthquake. You need to get under a piece of furniture. And I wanted to respond and be like, I'm at like a Quality Inn. Like, there is no furniture here. Like, I have a better chance of survival if I pull like the sheet over my head or something. Anyways, yeah, California was cool. It's totally different than Boston. You come back to Boston, everyone's just immediately like, I can't even explain it. You just have to do the route. Just go from California to Boston. You'll know what I'm talking about. But when I was little, I was like a bit of an athlete when I was little. I was part of the town soccer league. I don't want to brag. The only stipulation to join that team was my mom had to sign like a permission slip that said that I was 7 and I could join the team, and I got on it.
Made the cut.
Yeah, made the cut. I wish they said that I wish they cheered that on when I got on the team. Like, yes, you made the cut. I'd be like, yes. Instant ego boost. My mom signed the paper. But like, it wasn't like, it was totally different than what I thought it was going to be. I was like, oh, I'm just going to be going like down to the field, kicking the ball around. And then my grandfather showed up to every game. And my grandfather was a retired U.S. Army Master Sergeant. And some people hear that and they're like, oh, whatever. Like, you don't even know. You don't know what it's like to have a U.S. Army retired war veteran with PTSD, Master Sergeant, at a little league soccer game. It was like boot camp. The second I got in the field, he would be like, get the ball, get the ball, get the ball. And I'm like, this isn't war. Like, this is just a soccer game. And he's like, just a soccer game? Like, I honestly felt like I was training in case that there's like a war with people who just run around with soccer balls. Like, I'll be upset. His voice was so loud. He'd be like screaming. He'd literally be screaming every game, like, get the ball, get the ball. And then all my friends and the teammates would be like, oh, who's that guy yelling? Like, his voice, who gave him the megaphone? And I'd be like, it's not the megaphone. It's just his voice. Loud. And like my sister was also on the team, and she was like a defensive player, and I was like an offensive player. And my grandfather would start yelling at her like, "Ari, you need to get the ball." And she was like a bit of a pretty girl, so she could just be like, "I don't want to get my cleats dirty. I'm just gonna stand here." And then he'd be like, "Well, that's it, Brisa. The team's riding on you now. The whole platoon is counting on you." Like, I listened to him for some reason. So I'd be like looking at the other team, the team we're playing against, and please just give me the ball, and this will all be over for all of us.
Wow.
Like, I had friends calling me on the weekend, being like, "Hey, I can hear your grandfather's voice. Is there a game today?" I hear him yelling. I'm like, it's just his voice echoing through your nightmares, like me. But no, he was really loud, and my dad would come, and my dad was like a mini master sergeant. So they'd both be yelling. And one game I was just like, you know what, that's it, I've had it, I'm gonna stand up for myself. So I went over to my grandfather. I was like, excuse me, like, if you keep yelling like this, I'm gonna have to tell you not to come to the games anymore. I talk like Mickey Mouse, like on helium, like, and I was really afraid of him, but he like listened to me. In the next game he came, and I don't know what was worse, because when he listened to me, he came to the game and he would like quietly yell. And I think that's more intimidating, because he'd be like, get the ball, get the ball. And like, I think that was just even scarier. But anyways, like, that attitude though, since he was like a boss, I thought I grew up thinking like, I was like, oh, like I must be a master sergeant too. And like, I didn't really know what it was until I was older, like what his job had been. So I was like, yeah, like I'm just going to take that same attitude. And so when I was in high school, I thought I like ran the household. I don't know if anyone else was like that. But like, my parents were like getting divorced, and my mom was like, oh, I'm so stressed out. Like, I have to file divorce papers. And I'm like, I can't deal with this right now. I need to leave. Mom, I'm going to need your car keys and your Mustang. And we had a house in New Hampshire. And I'd be like, I'm going to go up to the house for New Hampshire for a couple of days and, relax for a little bit. When I come back, like, maybe things will be blown over. Maybe you guys will be divorced. I was like, horrible. But I also, like, when I got older, I got into, like, my early 20s, like, actually, I'm going to make myself sound cooler right now and say I was 18 and wasn't living at home past 18. I was out on my own past 18. But my mom would, like, leave the house. She would, like, she'd be like, oh, I'm going down to, like, get groceries or something. And then I'd call my friends. Immediately, I'd be like, my mom's gone, so you guys can come over now and party. And by the time she got back, she would like come home. I'd be sitting there like with my friends, like, and we'd be like drinking beers, and I'd be like, oh, Mom, I thought you weren't gonna be home for like another 45 minutes. And she'd be like, you're grounded, that's it, you're not like underage drinking, you're grounded. And I'd be like, what, I can't throw back a couple cold ones with my friend? So dumb. All right, that's my time. That's all I have.
Guys, give it up.
I have a lot of respect for parents now. I have more respect for parents now.
Yeah, I know. Now that my friends have kids, I'm like, oh, it's bad. Like, a lot of stress. Oh, yikes. Yeah, we had a no TV rule in my house when mom worked. So my brother and I would, of course, watch TV because we were home alone, and then we'd hear the key in the door, and we knew we had like 8 seconds from when you hear the key to when mom walks in the door because there was a staircase. So we'd hear the key and we'd jump up and slam the TV off. And like the TV was like in a little cabinet and like slam the cabinet shut. And so mom would, and then we'd be like, and mom would walk in and we'd be like, act casual, act casual. Oh, hi, mom. Oh, nothing. We're just both standing and out of breath. Like, that was fun. We're watching TV. And she was like, oh, yeah, this is totally normal. I have not been in too many earthquakes, but earlier this year, New York City had an earthquake. Who remembers? I think it was in March or April. And I'm not used to earthquake. Like LA people, you know, and I was sitting in an apartment in Midtown, and I felt it move as if the subway was going underneath it. And I thought, my first thought is not earthquake. My first thought is subway, right? Because that's what we're more attuned to that feel. And to see if it was an earthquake, I ran to the window to look at the birds. Because I figure birds will tell you, the animals know, right? But these are grizzled New York City pigeons. These are not birds. So I run to the window and I'm like, birds, is this an earthquake? And they're smoking. They're like, what the F do I know? I don't know from earthquake. Whatever, it could be an F train, you know. And so the birds were no use. But ironically, the bird Twitter, get it? It's X now. But yeah, if you want breaking news, you have to log into Stinky X. But yeah, and then it was like, there's an earthquake. And then immediately it took maybe 14 seconds for LA to say, whatever, we have earthquakes all the time. Get over it. It's like record time. LA will make fun of New York in record time if we happen to get an earthquake. It's part of the East Coast, West Coast love. We love it. Let's see. Aaron, do we know if our I'm looking at your eyes, Aaron. Are we?
We'll do Zach next.
Do Zach next. Okay, great. That's what your eyes said. Your eyes did say that, but I couldn't read your, because you couldn't make eye contact with me because we're on thing. So
somebody's mirrored.
What's that?
Somebody's mirrored.
Somebody's mirrored, exactly. Aaron is my mirror. When I look in the mirror, I see Aaron Kominos-Smith. Anyone else? Whoa. Just me? I'm like, whoa. It's always terrifying. All right. That was a little, we got rid of the fourth wall for a second in there, and I'm not even sorry. Whatever. This is show business. The show goes on. Are you guys ready for your next comic coming to
Yes.
We had a little teaser about who this comic might be, but you guys give a big round of applause and a warm welcome to Zach Sims, everybody.
Hello. Oh, hey, it's me. I'm Zach. Take it in. It's always fun to be here. I am doing well. I was going to talk about this. I'm broke. Is anybody else broke? Oh, good. I am broke. I found out that I'm broke. I'm like the broke friend now. In my friend group, I figured this out because I keep having to like try to downgrade their plans, you know, so it'll fit in my price bracket. It's not great. It's a lot of them being like, hey, Zach, we got this great plan for the weekend. Are you going to love this? We're all going to get together. We're going to Airbnb a cabin upstate. We're going to rent some cars and we're just going to party the weekend away. And I'm like, oh, yeah, no, we could do that. Or I thought maybe we could take a bus down to the river and look at it. That's how you know you're broke, when everything you do for fun is just stuff Huck Finn used to do. You know, that's a good sign. That you don't have a lot of money. Oh, here's something about me. I am from New Orleans, Louisiana. That's where I'm from. It's a cool place.
All right.
Somebody makes a noise. Why would you not? Just the very idea of it brings noises out. I like being from there. It's pretty cool. I was just back there. You don't need to know that. But a lot of people are surprised to hear that I'm from New Orleans. A lot of people tell me they think I'm from the Midwest. People say it to me all the time. They'll go, "Oh man, you're from New Orleans? That's crazy. You just got a real Midwest vibe to me. You know, when I saw you, you just seem like you're from the Midwest. You seem so Midwesty." People say it to me all the time, and it is hurtful every time. That's a rude thing to say to people, and it's nothing against the Midwest. You know, everybody, obviously, you know, I love corn and Taco John's or whatever, but no New Yorker calls you Midwestern like it's a compliment. Most of them, they don't even know where the Midwest is. You know, it's just like a vibe to them. All anyone's saying when they tell me they think I'm Midwestern is that, like, I seem nice and like I'd be fooled easily. That's all that means. They say that, you know, there's just something about you, you know, you just got a vibe. I just feel like I could ask you for directions, and also you still don't know you got catfished. You know, there's just something about you. But people say it to me all the time. They'll say it all the time. They'll be like, "Oh man, that's so crazy. You're from New Orleans. It's such a cool partying cultural city. You don't seem like you're from there at all." You know. Full. Okay, I have to stop. I got too much stuff on my desk. I got to stop fidgeting. I live with my girlfriend. That's a cool thing about me. A little something. I, for some reason, thought you all would applaud. I don't know why. In my head, I thought people would go, "Oh, thank you. You don't have to. You don't have to." There's no need to, but it's nice. We live in Brooklyn. That's where I live with my girlfriend. It's very nice. Oh, there we go. A little more love for Brooklyn. Fair enough. It is very nice. It's a nice part of Brooklyn. It's a little suburby. There's a lot of families and coffee shops. It's very nice. I feel like I'm dying every day while I live here. And it's, you know, it's not all bad or whatever, you know. I saw John Turturro drinking a green drink one time. You know, that was exciting. I get to tell people that, you know, that feels good. But it's not a cool place. You know, I'd always lived in cool places, you know. And it just, I don't know. I just feel like I'm not a suburb guy. Personally, you know, everybody live their life, do what they want to do, of course, but I just feel like, to me at least, the suburbs, I just feel like they're just for like people with families and scared whites, you know, and I'm not a scared white. I'm an anxious white. It's very different, you know. Like, oh, exclamations. Like a scared white might cross the street because they see a black person, you know, where an anxious white might cross the street because they see an acquaintance. You know, it's very different. Okay. Some of these jokes are called, hope Zach remembers where the swears are. He doesn't say them. I live with the girlfriend. Like I said, it's going well. We agree on a lot of things. That's important in life, right? You got to have agreements. You got to know whatever with somebody you're with. And the big one we agree on is kids. That's one we agree wholeheartedly on kids. And that agreement is no thank you, which is a good thing to connect on. I think, you know, it ends with us. We shout every night before bed, but I, you know, whatever. I have friends with kids. Once again, much like the suburbs, you know, live your life. No, God bless. I do. I don't know. I do feel like, not to whatever. I don't want to get super serious on a Zoom, but I do feel like, you know, I don't know. When you look at like, I know, climate change and resources, whatever. I feel like not having children is like how I give back to the future. You know what I mean? Like, that's my contribution, is not adding to it. I feel like, you know, I think that's pretty noble of me. Admittedly, I'm just selfish and never wanted kids, but now I get to pretend that I'm making like a noble sacrifice, which is kind of nice for me. Also, like, I know my genetics. I know my family history. You know, no kid of mine is going to be the hero the future needs. You know what I mean? Like, unless, like, the stuff goes down, it gets wild, and somebody's like, "Oh, quick, we got to find a kid who's wearing a t-shirt in the pool." You know, I don't think that's going to happen. More than likely, we're trying to find new shows to watch. I think that's all dating is now. We would agree. You know, you just find a cooking show you both like, and you watch it till you're dead. She tried to get me to watch this show, MasterChef Junior. Any big MasterChef Junior fans? Okay, I'm going to talk about it for 18 minutes. I'll tell you about it. I'll tell you what it is. Don't worry. I'll tell you what it is if you don't know. MasterChef, competitive cooking show hosted by Gordon Ramsay. MasterChef Junior, competitive cooking show with children. It's a bunch of 8 to 12-year-olds making fine dining dishes. I've never hated anything more in my entire life than this show. They should not call it MasterChef Junior. They should call it MasterChef Kids with Better Childhoods Than You. That's what they should call it. I couldn't handle it. You know, no kid knows struggle and how to flambe stuff. You know, that's not how that works. I couldn't even get through the intros. I couldn't handle it, you know? It was just a bunch of like, it was just like a little 10-year-old boy prince and like a vest and a bowler hat. Like, hey, my name's Tathan, and my favorite dish is coco van. Screw you, Tathan. I just remember there's a swear immediately there. Screw, I don't want to hear. I don't know what coco van is. I know what coco van is. I hope to die not knowing. I would never watch MasterChef Junior. I can't connect. I would watch MasterChef Child of Divorce. You know, that I could relate to, you know, if it's just like a little 10-year-old, just like, hey, I'm Jimmy, and my mom's hanging out with her friend Ron tonight, so I'm going to make my favorite dish, PB&J with saltines. And no J. Oh, we got a thumb up. That's exciting. That makes you want to be alive. I am. I'm gonna get lit, right? When somebody nod, I'm gonna see a light. Okay. All right. I will at some point. Okay. I had a birthday somewhat recently, which is exciting. Sure. I feel like y'all. Oh yeah. Oh yes. I feel like as you get older, you know, maybe your options go down a little bit in life. You know, it doesn't have to be sad or whatever, but it's true, you know, because like when you're a kid, people will say stuff, they'll go like, anything is possible, you know, and then you get in your 30s and people say stuff like, maybe you can take classes online, you know. It's not quite the same thing. Oh, big laugh. I like to, even in normal shows, I like to comment on each individual laugh, just so everybody feels touched. Okay, we'll just close on this. I would like to be successful, though. That seems nice. You know, that seems good. I just think as you get older, you just kind of have to lower your concept of success. You know, I think that's how that works. You know, like I used to want to be like rich and famous, big house, fancy car. Now, I just want to like look good in hats. And be able to buy ice cream without checking my bank balance first. That's all I care about in this world. And I don't know if it's going to happen. Like, successful people have a lifestyle I did not know was even possible. You know, like I have friends who are doing well, not to brag, you know, and I'll go to where their house, you know. First of all, they have a house that's pretty good, but they'll have things that I didn't know that you could even have. They'll have like multiple boxes of cereal. You know, not even bags. Wow. Just the options, you know, or they'll have like motivational phrases just on random objects throughout the house. You know, they'll have like a clock that says go strongly in the direction of your dreams. Or like a fridge magnet that says do your best and better will follow. That's a lot of pressure. I have to be looking at that all the time. I can't handle that. I still need like you're doing fine phrases. You know, where I live, you know, just like a throw pillow that says a nap is not a failure would be nice. Or a fridge magnet and it just says other people are grosser than you, you know, to remind yourself. Ooh. Have a good night.
You guys give it up for Jackson. I love it.
That's a nice one.
Love it. Yeah, I had a wake up call about my friends having more money than me when a friend of mine, not rented, but bought a house and said, it was giving me a tour and said, "We haven't decided what to do with this room yet." And I was like, I've never lived in a place where I need to decide what to do with a room. Like, this is the only room that could be a living room. The bedroom is the only room that could be a bedroom. These decisions were made before I moved in. I want to live in a place where I walk into a room and I go, what should I do with this room? Who is this wealth? This is amazing. I think I'll make this the wine cellar. Yes. Also, I also have made the no children choice because a friend of mine who is also a comedian said this about her children on stage, and it stuck with me. She was like, having kids, like, imagine you're babysitting some kind of rough kids, and they're really exhausting to you, and then the parents never come home.
Yeah.
Because that's you. You're not a baby. You're the parent. I was like, wow. Because I was a career babysitter. You know, in high school, that was how I made money. Sean is matching an emoji. I love it. But yeah, so I don't want the parents. I'm the best auntie to all of my friends' children. I can be super fun Aunt Carrie for 45 minutes. And that is on minute 46. I'm like, Auntie needs wine. Go back to your parents, you know. And like, I think that's great. You know, someone will have to suck up to me eventually to be my heir. And they can help decide what to do with a room. Auntie, what should we do with this room? Oh, you make it Auntie Carrie's room. That's great. Thank you. Are you guys ready for your next comedian coming to the stage? Yeah. Give it up for Jared Waters, everybody.
How are you guys? Hey. Good to see you. I'm on the mean streets of Toronto right now. So that's what, yeah. I'm in between shows. Yeah, I'm definitely not from here, but I'm glad they don't have guns, so I feel safe. You know what I mean? Definitely feel safe out here. Even though I'm in a dark alley, I'm like, well, no one's gonna hurt me, so I'm fine. Definitely fine. I do live in New York City. I'm not from New York City. I moved to New York from a third world country. We call it Tampa, Florida. You guys ever heard of that place before? You ever heard of that swamp before? Yeah, a lot of people make fun of Florida people and Florida folks, which isn't fair because in Florida we got no state tax and just wild things that happen. That's the only reason why we just report our crimes. That's why we seem crazier than everybody else. We call it the Florida Man. You guys ever heard of that before? Florida Man? Yeah. Yes. If you're not aware, you can Google your birthday and type in Florida Man and a crime will pop up on your birthday. That's how beautiful our state is. Yeah. We have a crime for everybody that gets there. Last 4 months, a man got arrested because he took an alligator and tossed it in the Applebee's is what he did. Yeah, we were just like, well, welcome to Florida, boys. Welcome to that Sunshine State. No one ever talks about how wild New York City is. I live in this crazy city, and everybody sees the craziest stuff in the world every single day and pretends like it's normal. That's what we do. It's not normal what happens in New York City. On a regular day, you can find a man butt naked in multiple locations at 10 o'clock in the morning. That's not normal for breakfast, folks. That's not normal for biscuits and bagels. That's not normal. One time I was in a Starbucks, true story, and there was a man running nude through Starbucks, and no one said anything in Starbucks. No. It was just 7 people trying to dodge a naked man the whole time. Like, oh, excuse me. Then like, can I get a mocha latte, please? I was like, call the police. Everybody's like, no, he's a part of this community. We're fine. He's definitely a part of this community. Florida is wild, but we make laws to stop things from happening. We passed this law in Florida. It's not. Give me a message. Oh,
sorry.
Oh, no worries. I was like, girl, what you calling me for? I didn't know what type of friends we were. Yeah. We passed this law in Florida. It's now illegal to dwarf toss. Do you guys know what that means? We're not happy about that law at all, but they had to stop it because it was happening all over Florida. People were just grabbing little people and just tossing them around. And I was like, who does that, right? Everybody just grabbing little people like, back to Gryffindor. That's what they were doing. My thing is, like, it was just happening all over Florida for a law to be passed, like Universal Studios, Legoland, Magic Kingdom. I was like, what is happening in this state? What I do like about being inside New York City is that there's just so many cultures. There's a lot of negative stereotypes about Southern people, though. A lot of people think we're just racist and homophobic. That's not true. We're progressive down there. I'm not homophobic. No, don't, for real. Don't believe the media. We're progressive. I'm not homophobic. I had gay friends back in 2006. That's how progressive I am. Yeah. I mean, I still got them. I didn't get rid of them. I still got them. I'm not tracking on my gay friends, but I got 25 right now. 25. I have an offense and a defense, no special teams, but I got starters. Yeah. Everybody starts on our squad. Things are new to me, but I'm with it. Like, I never knew what a gender neutral bathroom was until I moved to New York City, and I like them. I really do. I like them. I think if you're a man, you should like gender neutral bathroom because that men's bathroom is disgusting. It's nasty in there. It's filthy. Any of you ladies ever been at a concert recently and you like the women's line is always wrapped around the corner, so you cut to the men's bathroom and you walk in there, it smells like asparagus and broken dreams. That's what it smells like. And there's pee everywhere on the window, wall, air conditioning vent. There's pee all over that place. One time I was running through Yankee Stadium. I slipped in the men's bathroom. Slipped. Oh, no. And, like, I had on Timberlands. I don't know how to wear Timberlands. I'm from the South. We don't wear these space boots anytime. Slipped. I was about to fall, and to break my fall, I just wrapped myself around another man pee, and that's what I did. It's like, hey, get off of me. Hey. I was like, hey, calm down. We're both going to fall. Relax. Let go of your toxic masculinity. Chill. I'm a millennial. That's what I am, a millennial. Everybody made fun of our generation growing up because we were the first group of kids that went to therapy willingly. That was us. We were trying to figure out what our parents did to us. We seen the most trauma out of every generation. 9/11, we were kids when that happened. That's all they showed on TV. Shoot, man, I remember I was 3 years old when Mufasa was killed in The Lion King. Very traumatizing events I've suffered, man. We got to work things out, man. Millennials are so depressed that Steve from Blue's Clues had to come out of hiding just to get us to calm down. That's how crazy it was. I've been to therapy. I've been through 10 therapists. 9 of them have quit on me, and I don't blame them. I blame myself. It's my fault. I say the wildest stuff to my therapist to see if they're really down for me. That's what I do. I told this therapist I kidnapped 17 people, and she goes, "Excuse me?" I was like, "I'm just playing." She's like, "You cannot say that in here." And I was like, "You got my health insurance. I can say anything in here. Let's react." That's what you're paid to do, is react. My last therapist, I fired her. I didn't want to. I fired her. She was a black woman, and I was vulnerable for an hour. I was about to cry in there. And what happened was I left, but I left my purse in her office. So I went back to go get my purse, and I saw she was on her phone, and she had a cracked iPhone on both sides.
Oh, no. Yeah.
That's how I felt, too. I said, listen, no disrespect, but I can't take life advice. Well, someone with a broke phone, you know what I'm saying? If you don't got Apple Care, you can never really properly care for my life. You got to get your life. Every time you pick up the phone, you slice in your face. No, I can't be listening to you. Even though me and my family are from the South, we're progressive because my dad was in the military 25 years. He took us out the South. I lived around the whole world. If you're a single American man, I used to live in the Netherlands for 4 years. That was fun. European women, they love us. They really love us out there. They do. They're very beautiful, but very hairy. They got hairy arms, hairy legs. Yeah, they do. They look like Chewbacca's when they get up close to you. I was like, oh my goodness, I thought that was a dog. That was just your legs. Yeah. My favorite country of all time that I lived in was in Japan. I lived there for 4 years. I couldn't party how I wanted to in Japan because my dad got promoted to lieutenant colonel. He was the commander, and everybody was a snitch on the base. Everybody was telling my dad everything I did. So I would go off base downtown Tokyo by myself at 15 and party in clubs because nobody cared who I was. Until one day I was in the club with one of my dad's soldiers and he grabbed me by my arm. He goes, "Are you Colonel Waters, son?" I go, "No." He goes, "You look just like Colonel Waters." I said, "Dude, ask somebody else in this club. I don't know who Colonel Waters is." But I was the only black dude dancing with all these Japanese people. As he grabbed me, I was just like, "Hey, arigatou gozaimasu. Shurumati kudasai." I said, "I'm not black, I'm Japanese, brother. Back up off me." Anybody ever been to Japan before? No? Yes?
I've been.
But want
If you
to.
have, go, that's beautiful. The reason why you got to go now because their yen is super low and our dollar is heavy out there. So what happened was, if you're not aware, in 7-Eleven in Japan is amazing. It's how we treat Whole Foods in America. That's how beautiful 7-Eleven is. You can get anything you want at 7-Eleven 24 hours straight. The people are nice. They want to be there. My friend came to America for the first time from Japan. He goes, "Hey, man, I'm really hungry. It's 2:00 in the morning. Can we stop by 7-Eleven and get some food?" I said, "Hey, man, I don't have a knife right now. I don't have any pepper spray. I don't have a gun. It's not the right time for us to go to 7-Eleven for our safety." He goes, "Come on, it's 7-Eleven. Let's go." I took him to 7-Eleven. I watched the hope from America come out of his eyes when we got in there. We walked in 7-Eleven. We saw like homeless people beating up crackheads. And he goes, "What's going on in 7-Eleven?" He goes like, "Who are these people?" I was like, "I don't know. Ask them. They live here. Talk to them. Ask them. Take your shoes off. You're in their house. Show some respect." My friend ate 2 hot dogs from 7-Eleven and had diarrhea for 3 days straight. "Hey, what was in that hot dog?" I said, "America, baby. That was in that hot dog. The United States of America." I think I'll end it with this. If you got older people in your family, support the older people in your family, man. Make sure you spend time with the older people in your family. It's very rare. Like Gen Z, Gen Alpha has a hard time with their grandparents. They think old people are mean, and I don't feel that way. I think old people are just straightforward. They're the last group of people that on this planet that tell you how they feel when they feel it. That's a genuine trait. If you ever gain any weight, walk up to an old person. They'll let you know. As soon as they see you, they start making noise like, "Woo." You don't miss too many meals, do you? Ooh, how big your back? Girl, you is heavy. You a heavy little thing. Well, folks, you guys been fantastically well. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah. Jared Waters. I also learned to say I'm not black, I'm Japanese when I went to Japan. It's a useful phrase. Anyone can use it. Yeah, Japan was gorgeous. It is really, really, really pretty. And they feed you good. It's nice. You guys, we have one more comic, but before we do, I want to throw up our donation links again. I'm going to throw up. Before we do, I'm going to throw up and then put these links into the chat window. I will throw the links up in the chat window. How's that? That's the participle. Do I do it? Split infinite? What was that?
Yes.
All right. And throw some money at us. We like to run a free show. We don't want to require payment to get in, to keep it even, but we do ask for donations to keep the show running. We pay our comics and we pay for some infrastructure behind the scenes. And also Aaron is addicted to Beanie Babies. So we have to keep buying him Beanie Babies. And we want to give a thank you to the people who donated last week. So I'm going to share a screen right now. And if you would like to see your name on this, throw us some money. From last week, we have, at Fantastic Level, we have Evil Dave. Evil Dave is pretty consistent with sending us a couple bucks. We love him for it. We have Sweet Potato Level with Brandon. And we have regular potato level because we don't know what sweet potatoes are. But Patricia gave us some money for that. And Carl gave us money. Thank you, Carl. He got to fun level, which is the best level, but it's at the bottom of the list. So again, if you'd like to see your name on this list, throw us a couple of bucks. If you're wondering how much to send us, don't wonder that. Just enter random numbers. That would be great. All right. If you're wondering how much to send us, you're overthinking it. It doesn't matter. It truly doesn't. And on that note, are you guys ready for your headliner for this evening? Yeah, we are super excited to get this comic on our show. He is the co-producer of the show. We share the same virtual background. You guys give a giant warm welcome to Aaron Kominos-Smith, everyone.
Hello, everybody. Hello. All right, we did it. How did we manage to book me on this show? Wow,
I don't know.
Impressive that we managed to land me. I'm impressed at us, Carrie. Good job.
Thank you.
Also, by the way, on that list, making it to didn't quite make that list level because it was from the previous week, and Carrie likes to make these, and I forgot to, was Ann, Gordon, Jake, Evil Dave, Henry, and Laura from the previous show's tips. At the special level. So shout out to them as well. Yeah, that was the other show because I was me running things and I got caught up in life and taking care of an almost 3-year-old. Everybody, I've been to Japan. It was amazing. I love Japan. Although Japan, they're so friendly that they want to, if you say anything to them, they want to say it back. That would be rude to not respond right away. Except, I walk in places and I'm just like, hi. Hi, I just say hi, but in Japanese, hi means yes, and they bow to you. So everywhere I was going in, I do the opposite of bowing. I'm more of a chin. I'm more like a, hey, I got a chin. You got a chin? I got a chin. Here's my chin. So I'm like, hi, and then they're like, hi, and I'm like, hi, and they're like, hi, and I'm like, hi, and hi. And it was just, there was a lot of highs back and forth, and then it happened every store I went into, and it took me until the last day of 2 weeks of being there to realize that I'm an idiot and that means yes and not hello. Who would have thought that in another country they don't speak the same language that I speak? Moving slightly north of Japan over to Korea, talk about not great friends of each other nations, but lately they are because of other nations that they have as mutual enemies. I go to H Mart all the time, Carrie. H Mart is incredible.
So great.
Even more incredible than the selections in H Mart is their fried chicken. Korean fried chicken is amazing, and H Mart is so they are so focused on delivering you quality fried chicken pieces that H Mart invented their own fried chicken box for storing their fried chicken. Carrie, if you've been to an H Mart and have not gotten the fried chicken in the H Mart fried chicken box, you're missing out. Because it's
I'll go.
The H Mart I go to, it's not so much aisles because it's one of the smaller ones in downtown. So they don't really have aisles, but I call it, they have a fried chicken nub. And if you go into the fried, actually it's more like a fried chicken cul-de-sac. If you chicken cul-de-sac where they've got multiple cases of fried chicken. And if you pick up their packaging and you look at the bottom, the boxes, by the way, are so good that you could turn the box completely upside down, dump fried chicken everywhere. You can read that they said that they invented the box you're currently holding. That's dedication to fried chicken right there. All right.
Wow.
Guys, if you don't have an H Mart, Amanda, get one in Missoula. They got I think there's a huge Korean population in that part of Minnesota, right? Let's do it. Let's get, or in Panama City, I'm not sure. I'm excited for Thanksgiving, and didn't write new jokes, but here's what I remember from a previous Thanksgiving, right in the middle of COVID. There was a headline that said that because so many people, obviously we're not celebrating with giant celebrations, just small groups, that they said that a lot of the turkey manufacturers, which is, it's funny to call it manufacturing, they said that they were going to start producing smaller turkeys for that season. Yeah, I guess they didn't realize we already have them. They're called chickens. That's a joke I wrote about 3.5 years ago. I guess 4 years ago at this point. I don't even remember anymore. What's
Thanksgiving every year?
Time? I guess, yeah, but I wrote it, I think, right at the height of COVID when doing this show, which we're still doing, and still making it happen. I'm also a hairy person. I know Jared was talking about hairy. I've got the hair here. I've got the hair here. I'm getting some little bit of ear hair. But one of the things that I feel with my birthday that I just had is you learn you have skills that you didn't know you had. For example, I didn't know this. I am very good at plucking my own ear hair.
Oh Lord!
Right? Like that's lucky me. Great skill to learn. And you might say, but Aaron, you don't have any ear hair. To which I would say, aha. Okay, that's how good I am at it. And then I recently found a gray ear hair. Yes, making it happen. That's how I feel old. And my daughter recently, she pulled my shirt down and then started petting my chest hair and smiling. That also made me feel old and awkward and uncomfortable. I started using a little bit of Rogaine. I'm using a little here, a little bit over here. That wasn't the joke, Laura, but thank you. A little bit of the Rogaine here and here. I accidentally spilled some on my bathroom floor, and now instead of tile, we have shag carpeting in the bathroom.
That's a compliment.
Only work that well on my head. That's a fun joke. All right, everybody, these are jokes. Here we go. There's more one-liners that I won't be posting on X because that's a dumpster fire.
All right.
Thank you, autocorrect, for helping my wife know that I live her so much. Okay, moving on. Do you guys get it? As live instead of love. It is fun being in New York City because you have things that you yell out to yourself and you don't even realize. Like you wouldn't ever say it anywhere else. I was waiting for a train and it was very crowded. The train came and everyone's shoving their way in, shoving their way. I'm like, I better get on this train. I better get on this train. And then I actually said out loud, if this guy in his Harry Potter costume gets on the train with his broom, I'm gonna be pissed. And I swear the person next to me was just like, like it was. This was not a regular broom. It had like little things sticking off this. It was gigantic, is what I'm saying. It was so rude. Wow, guys, Nazis are back, huh? That's fun. That's a fun world we're living in. Yeah, don't worry, I'm being sarcastic. I feel like for a while, remember there was neo-Nazis. That was like, those were the new Nazis. And then like the Matrix came out and then like, oh, Neo's cool. All right, we can't call ourselves neo-Nazis anymore. They kind of disappeared and they went away. But now there were Nazis marching in Ohio. And I gotta say, I like kind of learning about these Nazi marches because like I want to take it seriously, I want to be offended, but whenever they like spray paint and they make their signs, they always mess up the swastika. like there's always like I saw one where you could tell they started to paint it the wrong way, and rather than just get a new piece of cardboard, they just like then did the swastika the correct way. And I'm like, do you guys even know which groups of people you're supposed to hate? I mean, you might be off. What if it turns out you're actually like against pre-1945 Germans? Like, what if that's the group you're actually like? They don't even know. Like, they just have no idea.
You don't like soundtrack.
The new ones, by the way, there are. I saw they had pink swastikas on a black background, and I'm like, those colors are really popping. Like, that actually looks great. I don't even know if I'm upset about this. And if you didn't ruin that symbol, I would make that the logo on my website. All right, everybody. This is. I'm saying I like the color palette, not so much the actual design of the swastika, although it was a Buddhist symbol way before, just rotated about 45 degrees. Guys, what is everybody's thoughts on Nazis? How do we feel? Are we on board or are we anti? Okay. I'm gonna, just making sure. That would be funny.
We still get to punch them, right?
We should get to. I think so. But hey, hold on. We're keeping it clean here, folks. I was going to ask. All right, this is going to be too deep. Am I allowed to burn would I burn a Jewish star on someone's lawn? Like, how does that work? As someone who's Jewish, like, I just don't. I guess that's more clan related. I'm really sorry. I'm blending together my hate groups. Sorry. This is a very awkward way to wrap up our show tonight with me talking about all of it. I have other like stuff that I wanted to talk about, but that was just kind of the direction that it ended up going, everyone. Okay, everyone, I'll move on. All right, we'll move on to something different. As I scroll through my jokes, and almost everything says Jewish this, Jewish that.
Jewish this, Jewish that.
Well, I'm just scrolling through, and like a lot of it. All right, we'll talk about one more type of Nazi. All right, we'll do one more type. Why is it that when you correct someone's grammar, you get called a grammar Nazi? That doesn't make sense to me. No one gets called a Nazi for being helpful. That's no one does that. When you're just like, hey, you should really choke up on the bat when you're gonna try to swing. You should really choke up. Like, hey, we stop being such a baseball Nazi, right? Like no one says that. No one's ever like, hey, you got this listed as a Pinot Noir, but it's pretty full-bodied. Maybe more of a Cab or possibly a Chianti. Hey, will you stop being such a sommelier Nazi? All right, will you stop telling me what to do? Right, it's like, hey, if you're gonna spray paint Jews are the devil on this wall, you should really use that bright pink spray paint. It pops a lot more than the white. Hey, will you stop being such a neo-Nazi Nazi? All right, will you stop telling me what to... Do you guys get it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
nailed it.
I'm really bringing it. All right, guys, I'll wrap us up on something. I don't know. I gotta wrap us up on something.
On a better note.
Because you guys, there's a store called Blinds to Go, and guys, it's been at least like 3 or 4 months since I've done this same joke every week. So we're gonna try it again, mainly to see Carrie's reaction to it. And I'm always confused when I go by that store, Blinds to Go. Is anyone walking by that store and saying, yeah, I'm going to get the 4-inch Venetians, but can I get those for here, please? Can I get those blinds to stay? Sorry, sir. These are blinds to go. No, just install them in the front window. I'll just walk by and look at them whenever I feel like. All right? Blinds to go. The best part, you guys, is next week, Carrie's going to text me a picture of the blinds to go near her when she goes by.
It makes me think of you now. I'm sorry I think of you.
That's it. You guys, there's more to that joke, but you guys, you are amazing. Have a great Thanksgiving, because we're not doing a show next Friday, so have a great Thanksgiving. Yeah, I knew one of us was going to forget, so I just wanted to throw it out there before I forget. But I'll let Carrie wrap us up. You guys, you were amazing. Thank you so much for hanging out. Back to Carrie to wrap us up. Wrap it up for our virtual backgrounds, huh?
Blinds to go, Nazi. Yeah, we're taking off next week. I'm going to be out of town, and I don't know what Aaron's excuse is. He's going to be shopping till he's dropping, and you can't do a show while you're shopping. Are you going out of town?
We're dropping. We'll be in Connecticut.
We're both going to be out of town, so we're taking Black Friday off, but we will be back the first Friday of December, which is, I'm looking it up. We'll be back December
6th.
Thank you. Wow. Calendar skills. We'll be back December 6th. We hope to see you then. Thank you so much for joining us this week. Give yourselves a round of applause. Click those donation links, and we'll see you in December. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
We'll hang out for a few to chat, everybody. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks. Mom, did you know I was watching TV?